All righty. We are recording.
Hello.
Green, I like the beard.
Thanks, my man. Appreciate that.
A little quarantine action there.
Yep, something like that.
All right, got a bunch more people coming in.
It looks like you've done a great job. What are you doing? That took hours. You're so tired when you get home from work. I thought you'd be happy you didn't have to do it. Oh, I'm not happy because now I got to redo it. Nobody does anything in this house without asking me first.
Damn it.
Any closet.
I'm going to mute for just that reason.
Yep. All righty. People coming in.
Hello, hello.
All righty.
Hey, Greg, this is Mark.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Doing super. Ready for a big year?
What's that?
Are you ready for a big year?
I don't know if ready would be the word that would describe. I worked out for the first time, like doing weights yesterday in a long time.
I can tell
My
you
wife
looking
and I
pretty
got the
pumped.
mirror. So there's a like angry person who lives in my magic mirror that tells me what to do and screams at me, and apparently I do it.
You know,
Man, I've been so sore today trying to get up and like stand and turn around, and it's just terrible. I'm terribly out of shape.
you know, Greg, if your name wasn't there, I thought you were Dwayne Johnson.
Well, yeah, no, it's the guns, baby.
Yeah.
You know me by the guns, right? All righty.
You were looking a little pumped there, I thought.
Oh yeah. And I've got a nice padding on my abs because I want to keep them real safe. I'm really pleased with them. So.
Oh, I didn't know you had an ass.
No comment on that.
Hey, what are you laughing, Jeremy? Fluids.
No comment.
All righty. All right, guys, let me let these guys in. All right, guys, I'm putting a link to the sign-in sheet. Just take a moment and get in there so that we can see what is, who's here, get a sense for, what's going on. Grant, Joe Williams. All right. All right, we got about 29 folks so far. I'll give it one more minute, then we'll get going.
Hey, Greg, I don't recall doing a sign-in sheet at last week's meeting.
We did not.
Okay.
Because I was running around like an idiot. yeah, this year it's sort of, this is the first year we've experimented with this. So I'll do things slightly differently next time. Apparently, if you schedule a meeting, it's a lot easier to sort of just take attendance because people need to sign in. So we'll go from there. All right. Okay.
Hey, Greg, whoever's last name is D'Angelo was on the same line as mine, and I think it deleted their first name, so they might need to sign again. Sign the chart.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just trying to get a general idea of who's here. It's not like we're recording anything. Again, everything's going to be posted to our YouTube page. So if you have not had a chance to check out Jeremy and Gordon's talk on what not to say, really, really spectacular talk. The one Gordon did on sort of taking the next step with Bobby Benson and Jimmy Carbonneau, really absolutely fantastic one. I listened to that the other day. There's another really great one that Andy Halperin and Stewart did on officiating in transition. And tonight, Trey and Herbert are doing one about pregame communications. So if you're an R, that's something you'll definitely have to watch. We're requiring that you take a look at that. So I think all of these are going to be really helpful. We're building up our library of materials. Again, it's all on the GLOA YouTube page. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube page, please do. We're sort of getting close to when we can start putting ads on that page. And my hope is we can start making a little money and just putting it in the Kevin Moore Fund for people when they want to go off and do professional development and Laredos and head up to the US Lacrosse Convention when that goes back to being in person. So, if you get a chance, go over to the YouTube page, check it out. I'm putting up tons of video. It should be ready to go. Or this presentation will be ready to go soon. If you hear from people in other associations, they are more than happy to email me and I'll share all of our stuff with them. Let folks know about, what we're doing. So just trying to get the word out there and make everybody a better official. Let's get started here. Let me pull over here. Okay, what the heck is going on? All right, let me share my screen and we will be good to go. All right, I'm assuming that's Mr. Rubin. All right, guys, can we see my screen?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. So what we are talking about today is crease play. Almost I think there may be 1 2-man clip in here. Everything here is 3-man. Everything here is going to be a GLOA game. So all of the clips we're looking at, good, bad, and different, we're all looking at us. Okay. I want us to, I think we as officials need to recognize that literally everything you do is filmed. If you are doing a varsity game, it is going to be filmed. And so with that being said, I want a disclaimer. The use of game film in this presentation is in no way meant to single out or demean any official, right? Film has been chosen because it illustrates a point we really want to make. I want you to know when we screw up, that's when the film gets sent to us. The clip gets put together, it gets sent, the email gets sent to Pat, the phone call gets made to Pat. I get a phone call, we send it out to a group of people that watch this film and we review these films. So, recognize we're going to screw up and it's going to be on film. Okay. The way I think we can use film productively is to understand, hey, we can't be doing this. We've got to change our habits in some cases. We may not know where we're supposed to be in other cases. Hopefully this is a presentation that's going to help us get to the right spot so that we're growing and developing and sort of honing our craft. Okay. So, hey, this is the triangle in settled play. I'm not really going to focus really at all on the trail official, but we're really looking at the lead and the single, right? And what we want is we want guys to be moving in tight. The place we want to be is right here on the hash marks. If you're on the hash mark, you're going to be in great position. If you're sort of there, that's a pretty good position as well, right? In between the hash marks and the numbers. If you're out by the numbers, you're not really doing anything for crease coverage at all. And we'll see some examples of guys doing a really nice job coming in and being dynamic. And you're going to have to be dynamic. You're going to have to come in and come out the entire time. What we really never want to see is guys with their feet in concrete. Okay, we don't want to be killing grass. You can't just find a spot and hang out there for a little while. We really need to be moving. We always have to be putting ourselves in the best position to see the play. And so we got the trail. Now, just to review, we're going to work out and in on GLE. You don't want to be exactly on GLE. You want to be a little bit above or a little bit below. The single should be slightly above, 2 to 3 yards above GLE. And the trail kind of at the bottom of the wing. We're going to move in tandem. As the lead goes to the end line, the single's going to come to cover that goal. Okay. Trail always has the shooter, right?
Yeah, guys, just think about this as a metaphor. So you're on a string with your partner if you're lead and signal. So when the lead is in, the single is backing out. When the lead is out, the single is backing in. And it happens the same way at X. When the lead goes down to X, the single comes down to GLE to cover the goal. So it's just like we hear with athletes that are playing as wing players on offense, attackmen, they play on a string, so they don't interfere with each other.
So here's a game. This is a great job by the entire crew. As the ball moves around, you see really good movement on the part of really everybody working this game. You see the lead crashes. We see, the single's in good position. We get an outlet pass. It comes back. And everybody's coming back into position. It's a nice move kind of all the way around. You can see this again. This is what we want to see. He's not in the way here, right? He's in perfect position to make that call. The single's close enough to help if we need help, and then gets out of the way as soon as the transition happens. So really nice job here. Remember, the lead has got to be at GLE before the ball arrives there. That is imperative. Again, working in and out. Again, primary responsibility is the goal, but you've got to cover that end line. And we're going to do a whole little section on just end line plays, particularly contested end line plays. That's where we want to be. If there are no bodies in front of you in the crease, you need to be coming in towards that crease so that you're maybe 3 big steps away. Here we're right there. And there are going to be situations where we really want to be right there. For example, 6 seconds on the clock in a close game. What is a team going to do? They're going to shoot, right? Time's expiring. They're down by 1. You know they're going to take a shot. So we need to get in there and really be right in the spot that we need to be.
And that's just really for you to help sell the call. You were right there when it happened.
Yeah.
Right? Coach can't dispute it when you were right there, right on the edge of the crease. So that's the importance of being close in when you can.
Now, think of it this way. Jeremy's on the crease. I'm the trail official. There's a shot, bodies, piles. The coach is in my ear. How can Jeremy make that call? And I'm like, Jeremy's right there. Coach, I'm 40 yards away. Jeremy's right where he needs to be. You can help your partner and your crew by just being in the right spot. And you really put your partners and your crew and yourself in a tough spot when you're not in the right space, right? All right, on-off official, that is going to change a lot in 3-man. We'll talk a little bit about what you should be looking for and what you should be looking at. You know, the lead official is the primary goal official. If the lead official has the goal, the single is really looking at the high crease. The single is sort of helping out as almost a second trail official, okay? The single comes in and helps when there's a play at the goal or the lead gives up goal responsibilities to go to the end line or he gets pushed out, okay? So we'll talk a little bit about that. Remember, you gotta work together. So if the player is going away from you, you're watching the body, you're watching for the push call. If the player's coming towards you, you have whether or not he's in the crease, whether or not there's contact with the goalie, and you have whether or not a goal is scored, right? So it's not always the lead, it's not always the single. You've got to understand, you know, what's happening in front of you and really focus on your priorities. There's a lot going on here. But if we can work well together, it's a heck of a lot easier to officiate the crease. You really want to anticipate and be dynamic, right? So we don't want to get lighthoused. This is really not where you want to be in this particular situation here, right? So remember that there's no hard and fast rule. You don't have to back out along GLE. A lot of teams like to set up along GLE, and that's where they're going to run their offense from. So you can't be there. So you can back out towards kind of the end line and the cone or the corner right in here. And you still have a great view of the play. And as that pass sort of then happens, you can kind of slide right back in to where you need to be. That's going to be really helpful for you, right? You can also do what we call sort of slip under the drive to the cage. If there's a drive to the cage, if you're the lead official in the single, you should both be crashing. That is imperative. I don't want guys out on the numbers sort of saying, oh, crease violation, we're going this way. You can't sell that call. You've got to be right there.
Yeah, we need you to, on those contested calls too, Greg and I talked about this earlier today. When you have a crease violation, you're waving off a goal. Those are very controversial calls. So you got to be in position, but you have to be very demonstrative when you make that call. You know, that you're pointing where it happened, you're waving off the goal for everyone to see. That's such a big call that you really have to be big when you make it.
Yeah, this isn't a loose ball push in the middle of the field, right? This is a team thinks they have a goal and another team hopes they don't. So we better come in there big. End line coverage. We're going to see some really problematic issues with end line coverage. If you are the lead, you have to take a couple of steps to the end line. You have to. I mean, unless it is literally nobody is contesting it and everyone in the stadium knows who's going to get the ball, there's just one guy back there, yeah, you can just point. All right, dead ball, here we go. But if there is any question as to who is going to be closest, just taking those 2 steps towards the end line is going to be really spectacular.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
This is Julius. Just want to back up real quick to the crease violations and no goal potentially.
Yeah.
When you have a 3-man and you have 2 guys that are down, which looks great, and they're crashing, then before somebody goes up with a goal, especially if it's contested, I think it's always a good idea to look at your crease partner to confirm that, you know, they don't have anything before you go up. So kind of be slow going up.
Yeah, and this is stuff that if there's bodies in the crease, we are not being quick. We are not being quick. If there's a goal and it's nobody's in the crease, we can signal yes or no. But if we've got bodies in the crease, we're having a conversation before anything happens, right? We don't want one guy going up and everybody else coming in doing this, okay? So here is an example. The ball's going to go around the horn. This is really, again, nice movement. You see the singles backing out. The lead makes a nice move back towards the end line in order to really get a good look at that play. Let's watch that again. So let me go back here. I don't know why I did that. Just this move of going a little bit down towards the end line gives you a much better angle to officiate that play behind the cage. And you don't know whether that guy is going to be driven further towards the end line. So you have to anticipate that that might happen. And so don't get yourself out of position. We really want to make sure that we get this right. Just this little tiny couple of steps that the lead takes. And look at, oh God, I'm gonna have to figure this out. Look at the really nice move that the single does. He comes in to make sure. Single does a nice job. Once everything clears out in front of him, he comes in and takes that goal.
Because if the lead gets caught back there for whatever reason, and it's conceivable, the single is going to call that goal.
Yeah, he has complete goal responsibility at that point in time. So this is a nice job by our crew here. Here's another really nice job by the lead and single. What I really like about this play is watch how both officials, everybody's essentially above them, above GLE. What they do is they open up their hips and face upfield, so they can look out their off their shoulder and they can still see the goal and the crease and the goalie, but they can see the rest of the field. If you are just zeroed in on the pipe, you're missing a lot of the game, right? And remember that on-off official stuff becomes really important. That lead official is just in perfect position. Single gets pushed out a little bit. That's totally fine. Again, we do a really nice job here. And in the early half of this play, there's a lot of tiptoeing around the back of the crease. If you're out by the numbers, one coach is going to be yelling, he's in the crease, that's a crease violation, and you're not in a position to really sell that call. If you're right where these two guys are, no one's going to doubt what your call is. Nobody's going to want to fight that fight. So again, really nice job here by this crew. So again, we kind of get paid to, count the goals. What's a good goal? What's a bad goal? We're going to talk about saves and that transition going the other way. So here are some sort of examples a little closer to home. Go back here and watch this. He's right there, right? Within 2-3 steps, the lead and the single are right here, okay? We want to make sure we're watching dead ball, we're doing good dead ball officiating right here. Do not signal the goal and then just haul ass upfield, right? We want to make sure that mixed colors are separated out and everybody's kind of going back to the face-off or going back to their huddle before we kind of take off, okay?
When you've got contested games where it's heated, it's really good in those situations for the single to come in the middle of those groups of people right in front of the crease and to establish a presence that I'm here, you better not try any funny business. Mm-hmm. And you can warn them verbally too if you hear chatter, just guys, that's enough.
Yeah, you can also be really positive. I mean, I've come in and be like, you know, hey goalie, you tried to make a really nice save there, or you know, hey, thanks for laying off the big hit, guys. You knew you were going to be late. Um, you know, establish a relationship with these kids. Let them know you're there. Let them know you're paying attention. This is good stuff. Here is a good shot, a good save, and a good 4 count. Those are great mechanics right there. The lead is behind the goal when all of this starts. So the lead's kind of over here. He's going to take a step down to make sure he can see this play. He comes up as the shot happens. He's in great position. He's got a great view, nobody in front of him. And I really like he gives the reset, right? We have a 20-second count going on. You can see him flip his timer, and then he goes right into the 4 count. So flip or twirl, flip, chop. And I go twirl, flip, 2, 3, right? So let's watch that again. I guess we're giving it keep it in as well, right? I also like, he thinks this is a goal. You can see he's looking to see whether that ball's in there, and we realize it's on the side of the net. Hold your whistle, right? If you are not 100% sure that that ball's in there, don't blow your whistle, right? We really don't want an inadvertent whistle here. So this is another great job by our crew. We can sort of finish it off. I will tell you, signals like this, they show up great on film. And a lot of times you can't hear what people are saying, or there is no audio, or the crowd noise is too loud. Having really crisp signals makes it a lot easier for the board and the assigners and the trainers to defend a call, right? Guys, he was in the right position. He had great signals. He knew exactly what was going on, right? Fantastic. Here's another shot and a save. Or I guess shot and a score, sorry. Look how the single crashes. If you see a shot and a shot, don't assume it's going to be a goal or a clean save. We could have rebounds. We could have a big scrum right in front. Both guys need to be crashing. Once you see that play, so really watch the single here. And even after the goal happens, he's walking into the middle of it, right? He's not turning and heading upfield. We're not writing on our scorecard. We're right there to see what's going on.
The lead, by the way, was right there too.
Yeah. Give a good signal, right? And again, no one's there to see your signal. So we're not doing the touchdown Jesus staring 3,000 miles down the field. We're looking right at the players. Because somebody's very happy and somebody's very sad after a goal. So we want to make sure that we're sort of paying attention to what's going on. Again, good dead ball officiating. All right, I'm just going to play this without commentary and we'll see what we see. Anybody clear on what happened there? We'll watch it again.
Why is the goal off the goal line?
Watch the defender coming around the pipe. So right here, the goal is fine, correct? Let's see if we-
Yeah, the defender grabbed the pipe by accident as it was coming
yeah, I
through.
think he just kind of. That's a goal. Now, look where our lead is. So let me see if I can make my annotation work. Our lead needs to be there. Our single needs to be there. Single is way, if you're at the numbers here, you have no one in front of you. At a minimum, you should be there. Because it's pretty clear we're going to have a shot here. And you, if you're looking across the field at your lead, you know he's not necessarily in position. Now, what do we do if the cage gets knocked off off the goal line extended? What's the rule?
Going to continue play unless there's an imminent scoring opportunity, and then we're going to call an official's timeout and we're going to fix it.
Yep. So nobody did this on purpose, right? If the goalie grabs the cage and pulls it over his head, that's a 3-minute non-releasable penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. But this is not intentional. This happens kind of all the time. If you get guys really trying to cut that corner there, it's usually a defender. But if there's an imminent scoring opportunity, as there is here, we're letting the play go, and that ball right there is past the line formed by the rear edge of the goal line. It's a loose ball. We have a goal, right? You're going to have a coach or a player say that can't be a goal because the goal got moved. Nope.
We don't have audio, so it's hard to tell. Did he whistle the play dead? Is a key
Yeah.
issue here.
Let me see if I can get the.
Because if he didn't whistle the play dead, that's even more problematic.
Yeah. Not only do we not whistle the play dead, everybody kind of knows it's a goal, and he gives the reset, and we're suddenly counting. And the single does not come in to help him. We do not have a conversation here. So let's go back to what Julia said. You have to have a conversation. If the lead is out of position and doesn't signal this goal, the lead has to or the single has to signal this goal. So here we go.
So you could see one of the midfielders from the goal team early on signals goal. He's walking off the field.
Yep.
And a couple of the attackmen are doing the same thing. Something is wrong here.
This is bad mechanics, bad signaling, crew that is not necessarily in sync and doesn't necessarily trust each other. This is kind of a perfect storm here. This is stuff we want to avoid. If you are the field judge on this game and the lead is the R, and he misses a goal, it's your job as the field judge to come in there and say, no, that was a goal. You should be blowing your whistle and come in and go up big, because there's just a lot of confusion here. And again, we are going to miss calls. I did a college game with Pete Fleury, and there was a big shot. He was lead. I was single. The ball just kind of dropped down at the goalie's feet. Half the people thought he'd scored. The goalie wasn't really sure. I looked at Pete. Pete looked at me, and he went like this, and I went like this, and we let him keep playing. None of us had definitive information that a ball had crossed the plane and had scored. I didn't see it. He didn't see it. We were both right there. So that's going to happen. And people yelled at us all day long because they said we missed a goal.
Are you going to stop and communicate on that, or are you just going to run in and call it?
Well, I had eye contact with him, and I just went like this. I don't have anything. And he looked at me and went, I don't have anything. You don't necessarily have to communicate, because I didn't want to stop the play to have that conversation. Right.
Right.
But
That is communicating.
Situation where you've got
That is
coaches-
communicating, right? That is communicating.
Right, and
Um,
we've all had this.
Yeah,
too,
Greg,
where-
Greg, if I can say, I mean, that's a great question in the sense of, do you just come in and make the call or whatever? I mean, the whole point is the eye contact in the trust your partner situation. Make that eye contact. And if it's truly, go back to the basketball mechanics in the sense of if the goal's missed, but somebody from far away knows 100% it's a goal, come in hard with your whistle, but give the primary the opportunity to make the call.
Yeah.
Just like in basketball, come up to the lead guy and say, that was a goal. And give him the opportunity to make that call. If you're coming in hard from behind somewhere or whatever. At the same time, for the person who missed the goal and you've got somebody coming from a million miles away who's 100% positive it was a goal, you need to trust that partner and take his word for it.
Yep.
Don't get into an argument with him. He's put his balls on the line by coming down there to help save the situation.
Yeah.
And you as the lead or whoever in that scenario has to trust what he said to you if he's coming in that hard.
Yeah.
Just
Our
like the
goal here-
basketball mechanics.
Our goal here is to get it right. That's our goal, right? It may look a little awkward, but it's better to look awkward and get it right than to look awkward and get it wrong, right?
Remember, like Greg said earlier, that we're on tape the entire time. And maybe you're concerned about the R, that you're going to offend him by coming in and saying, hey, that was a goal. We need to signal that. But the tape doesn't lie. We need to get it right, just like Greg said.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna play this one. We'll see what happens. Anybody want to tell me what the problem is here?
There's no stripes in sight anywhere.
Where's the other guy?
I think this may be either a transition goal in a 3-man or it may be a 2-man. But that ball is in the net. We're not too far off here, right? Because you can see the shadow right here. So we're still in that pretty good sweet spot. But let's back it up a little further. We should be right here. Because we got a one-on-one with the goalie. And I can tell you, I've watched this a couple of times in slow-mo. It's hard to tell whether there's contact with the goalie stick. So I'll play it from here. That second shot, I can't tell if there's contact with the goalie stick, but we're a little too far away in that case, right? Even if you slide a little bit underneath goal line extended, you're going to see, you can see through the net and see the goalie and see contact and see all that stuff. You might slide above and come in a little bit. Mechanics are a guideline. You have to put yourself in the best position to see the play, right? And if we have one-on-one with the goalie, if we've got close play right in front of the crease, you have got to be there. I was talking to Trey the other day about advice he had gotten about positioning and film, sort of in preparation for this talk. And he said, somebody told him, if there's a clip and they send it to the, your assigner or the coaches send it in, you want to be in the frame. You want to be in proving to everybody that you're in position. We're not going to dispute judgment calls, but we can make recommendations and pretty definitive decisions about whether or not you're in the right position, right? So make it easy for us, be in the right position, and these conversations are a lot easier to have. There we go. All right.
It's pretty close to the crease there, guys.
This is the example of kind of what we do for the exchange, right? Now, I'm just going to show this. I'll sort of narrate as we go. This is an MCLA game, but it's when they film stuff, they don't cut out the sort of dead ball stuff. So that's why I'm using it. But this is Dale, myself, and Trey. So these are 3 GLOA officials doing this game. All right, I want to plug in my computer. There we go. All right, let me play this.
That is a goal by six.
All right, we signal. We're coming in. We're talking to each other. We make sure everybody's set up. You jog the entire time to face off X. You jog the entire time across the field to become the wing official. And you jog the entire time as you come up to be the helper. I can't tell you how I could pull a million pieces of film where we are walking on a fairly regular basis. It's the cardinal sin of being an official. You hustle. You hustle to get the play started out during a dead ball. You hustle into position. This is lacrosse. We run and we jog. I mean, this is just the TV jog. This is just the do 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 do. You don't have to go at a full sprint. But we want to be running. Okay.
To Greg's point, it looks bad, but the second part of that is bad things can happen during dead balls. We need to keep the game going. We're not paid for overtime. So
that's my wife's rule. You don't get paid for overtime. Keep it moving. All right. So this is great mechanics, great demonstrative signaling on a no goal, right? So let's take a look at this. Great job here. We're crashing in as the play is happening. We're right there. Let me bring it back to here. Hands up in the air. We're blowing the whistle. We come crashing in. He points to the spot where the crease violation occurred by White, and he gives a great point going the other way. Nobody argues. Everybody turns around, and the restart just kind of happens. It is really good officiating here.
It's demonstrative, but it's just also confident. There's a real confidence in his call.
I missed that, Jeremy. What'd you say?
It's not only demonstrative, which is important to be signaling big in a controversial call like that, but it's also there's a confidence in his presentation.
Yeah.
I'm here. I know what I'm doing. We're going this way.
Yeah, this is good stuff right here. This is what we want to see if you're going to give the no goal, if you have the crease vi. So no goal, crease violation, boom, we're going this way. Black ball. You can't come in weak. We saw what happens. Everybody's confused if you come in weak. So crease calls are big calls, right? So if you're a 2nd to 5th year official, the crease rules are what you should be reading, right? That's the rules and the mechanics that you really have to start to perfect. You should know what a slash is. You should know what a push is. You should know to restart outside the box, all that stuff. What you really need to master in that next stage of your officiating is crease play. These rules have to be stone cold etched into your brain so that you know what to do, okay? All right, let's move on to kind of plays generally around the crease. So this is not necessarily goals or saves. We're going to be looking at sort of penalties around the crease or sort of off-ball stuff around the crease. So here we're going to see an attackman. He's going to drive to the bench side pipe. So here's the attackman with the ball right down here.
Good job, Jack. Good job, Jack.
Now, let me go back here. What I love about this play, the lead is right in position. right? He is right there. He's not in the way of the player. You can see the defender gets his cross wrapped around the player and kind of drags him to the ground. It's hard to see where the ball is, but you could argue that the ball is loose here. You're just going to award possession. We do not have a flag, so my assumption is the ball was loose, right? Again, I can't see that, but that official is right there. The single official can't go too much farther in because he's got some players kind of below him, but he does a really nice job. And then secondly, we go immediately into setting up the play for the restart. The lead drops back down, makes sure the player is out by the wing, outside in the alley. And, you know, we're pretty much ready to go. So let's take a look at this one again.
Good job, Jack. Good job, Jack.
Yeah, you can see the ball's down by the goalie's feet. The goalie's picking it up. Great job talking to the players, right? If you're in these games, your voice is the best tool that you have in your toolkit. So talk to these players. Hey, White, you're taking it out of the alley. Hey, guys, we're restarting over here. Goalie, ball's going to be side right. We're going to be side right. Get everybody going to where they need to be, and then boom, either the trail or the lead can blow this play in. But really nice job here. All I'm going to say about this clip, great hustle. Great hustle on this play. Now, when I say great hustle, I mean great hustle by the lead. The lead is in great position. The lead is crashing the crease. Again, another very demonstrative signal, and nobody seems to have a problem with it. My problem is that watch the single. There is at no point in time are you supposed to be on the 15-yard line outside the numbers. Like, that's just not where we're supposed to be. We want to be, and here's where the players are, right? You know right here, that's the ISO. This play is coming right down here. You know there's going to be a play at the crease. So great job by the lead here, but we need to make sure that single is in position. So let's watch this again. Right, the lead saves this play here. Single has to be able to help. If the lead gets screened, we're not going to know what happens because the single is in no position to help here. But very demonstrative, good hustle by the lead to get in this play and really make a great call.
Hey, Greg, question.
Yeah.
Would you say that on that last clip too, the single probably should have beat feet to the midfield cone as soon as there was an indication that it was going to be a turnover?
Yeah, so let's watch the end of this play. He's doing a pretty good job. He's getting up there, right? Maybe a little sooner, if that's what you mean. Again, there's a lot of walking, right? That is the one. So I'm telling you guys this for if you want to go to a Laredo, right? If you want to impress the signers so that you can move up, if you want to impress an observer who's giving you an observation so you can move to the next level, the one thing we are all going to harp on is if you're walking out on the lacrosse field, right? That is the one cardinal sin. It looks unprofessional, and Mike and the board have really stressed this idea of professionalism. We are here to do a good job for these teams, for these players, coaches, and fans, right? We need to be in the right position and running and doing what we need to do. And if we're out there walking, whether or not, maybe your knee hurts, maybe, you know, you've done a couple of games, maybe you got run over or blown up on the face-off, right? You can't tell by film. It just looks lazy, right? That's the only thing that sort of comes across in the film, is that you're lazy. And I don't think our officials are. I think 99.9% of our officials really want to do the best job they can. So again, I encourage you. I watch film of myself and I'm like, God dang it, here I am. I was lazy on that play. I was in okay position, but I could be better, right? Watch yourself on film, because film does not lie. Are you in the frame when the play occurs, right? Again, that's the big thing that we're really trying to stress here.
Greg,
Yeah.
can you go back one frame? Go back one frame to that restart.
Mm-hmm.
I want to second the hustle, you know, again, the hustle by the lead on that. Go ahead and get to the restart. Stop right
Okay.
there. Whoop.
It's right at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you had it stopped there beautifully. Right there, guys, right there. Again, great hustle on his part, but that's too much.
Yeah.
He's in too much. He is now in the middle of a play on a restart. And I don't know if the goalie has the ball or the guy right next to him has the ball, but he can come in hard, but he's put himself in the middle of the play on that restart.
Yeah.
And if all of a sudden one of these guys, you know, on green running off changed his mind and decides to do a ride, you could be stuck in the middle. So come in hard, come in fast, but don't, like they say, don't overcommit on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all.
should it be back by the net?
Yes.
Yeah, you want to be kind of back by the net, and remember, you want to get to your sideline as the trail official once you know that the play has sort of moved upfield, because the new lead is going to get up to his goal. That sideline becomes your responsibility as the trail, and you need to get out there, right? So that's an important one. I'm just going to let this one play. So we'll watch this again. What do we got here? As the crowd says, it is in fact a push. However, it is from the front, and I'm pretty sure it's legal.
Maybe interference.
I mean,
Well, first thing that you should notice is
the
this.
ball's right here.
Right. Look at the official on the near side of the camera, on the closest side of the camera. I guess he's going to be the single because it looks like the bench line. The single has got his hand up. Why does the single have his hand up?
Yeah, so let's ask that question. Why does the single have his hand up? Let's get to it. Where is he? Right there. If he's signaling play on for a push, it is a push against White. White is not picking this ball up. We should be killing the play. Now, here's the other thing. This is a common mistake that I see over and over in game film. We stop to officiate the play. Right here, you have, this is the single, and he's on the 25-yard line with the ball over here. He needs to be here. This single needs to be hauling his butt down to the goal. But what we're doing is we're getting even with the play and we're stopping to look at the play. You can keep running and officiate the play. Get to your spot. The lead cannot be beat to the goal. Okay? So we have a legal push here, at least the lead thinks so. We have a sort of phantom play on. If you put your hand up and you've got a play on, somebody better be coming up with that ball or you better be killing the play. Because on film, I'm going to say, what did you have for the play on? Your hand was up in the air. You indicated to literally everybody, I see the foul, I've got a play on. And White does not come up with this ball. So I don't know who we would be having a play on here. So let's go back and see it. From
Greg, it's right at the 30-yard line. He might be signaling that the ball's gotten in.
Yeah, he may be. But he keeps it up there for a really long time.
And
right?
It's not a coincidence that it happens right when the hit happens.
Look where we are.
Greg,
Mm-hmm.
that looks like a new official that's probably not sure if they need to make that call or not. Maybe a first 3-man game and just not, because we see that with new officials, right? They don't want to call something and they're not sure what to call.
It was
Yeah,
I
I agree.
with the crease.
Yeah, I agree with Jeremy. That hand went up at the 30. I think they probably thought they had a play on and changed their mind, but
It is not a new official. I'm not going to say a name, but it is not a new official, and it's somebody who's done multiple 3-man games, right?
oh, never mind.
So
Never mind.
And Greg,
we are horribly out of position here, both lead and single when this happens. And what do we have? We have an in and out. Red picks it up and runs with possession through the crease.
but do
So-
we see a signal for that?
Yeah. So what I'm saying here is this crew gets the call right. I don't think that we have a push. I think we have a legal body check. And I think we have an in and out. The crew gets it right. Mechanics look terrible and we look lazy, right? So if you're the coach here, you're saying, why are you not down where you need to be? What else are you going to miss in this game? And he has a valid point to make here.
Yeah. And
Right.
what is the call? Why are we killing the play? It's certainly an in and out. You can see the defenseman get the loose ball and then run through the crease, but there's no indication of that from the crew that kills the play dead correctly. But the coaches or anybody on the sideline that can't see what just happened are like, why are you killing the play? Why are we restarting it?
All right, let's move on to the next one. So here we're going to have a really good play on for a hold. It's awarded, so the team keeps the ball, and then we're going to have a quick goal.
Ron, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Loses the ball. Loses the ball. 2, 1.
Right. So here's great play on here.
Ron, 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
Do we see the hold? Right. We wrap that cross around him, drag him to the ground. The ball squirts out. There are 5 seconds on the clock, so we do not want to kill this play.
Ron, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Loses the ball.
Why is this single pulled all the way out to the restraining box?
Yeah. The single should be crashing a little bit here. Right.
It's all those lines on the Georgia Tech field.
Yeah, it confuses the hell out of you. Right. Everybody's offsides at Tech. All right. Let's watch this and then we'll talk about whose call this should have been.
No, good save, goalie, in the crease. Oh.
Let's watch it again. One.
Yeah.
Is this a dive?
Yes.
He pretty
It
much
looks like he
launched
stepped
himself.
in.
Yeah, well, he's not quite in there yet. But he's going to land.
Looks
in
more
there.
like a fall to me.
Yeah. Is that defender all over his back?
We don't know.
It
looks like it, Greg, but I mean, from here, we're looking at video, but
we
Back
got
it up a little.
we got
You'll see the
contact here,
defender had a ways to come to engage him.
Good save.
right? This official makes the push call.
That's a bad call.
This official does not. He signals in the crease, right? What's the rule here?
Should be the single.
Let me go back.
Yeah, remember
They
what
should
we
come
talked
together
about.
and talk.
They should come together and talk, but you have to understand what your primary key is here, right? So this
Going
guy
away,
needs
you got
to
to
come in.
push.
The lead is in pretty decent position here.
Yeah, the single should have the goal.
The single has the goal and the crease violation. The
Right.
single is not going to know how he got in
Right.
because he's looking at the front of the player. So that should be the singles call. I have the feet and I have the goal.
Yep.
And I have whether or not there's goalie contact. I got all that stuff. The only thing the lead has here is there a push? Now we can debate, is there a push? Is there not a push? I would argue that when a defender is draped over somebody, I tend to lean towards a push, right? How did that guy get in there? So let's watch it one more time.
No, good save, goalie, in the crease. Oh.
Seem to
Either
have a
way,
little
if you
tap.
say this is a push or not a push, right? I'm fine with it as long as the right person makes the call. As long as
Single
the
all the
person
way.
who's looking at the back makes the call, whether it's a push or not, it's fine. So we should definitely have a crease violation here for landing in the crease. But it looks terrible when the guy that does not have the angle signals push and points in the other direction, especially when he's out of position, right?
Hey, Greg, that goes back to something you said earlier about trusting your partners.
Mhm.
So that, you should never overrule, like you said, that shouldn't have been his call. So, I mean, that's just, you got to trust and go with it. And if you think he was wrong, let's just run with it as a crew.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to live or die. I mean, we're talking about a technical foul here. That we got to live or die by what's going on with whose call it is. But also understand your keys. You have to remember that those keys are going to swap. If it's coming towards you, you've got the feet and the goal. If it's going away from you, you've got the push, right?
On that point too, it's really important that, and this is a difficult nuance for officials who are making the transition from an R in high school games to college, where as the R in high school, you're accustomed to making calls perhaps all over the field because your two partners are inexperienced. When you get to college and you have two really skilled partners, it's about the on and off official.
Mm-hmm.
You're trusting your partners to do their jobs and you're not calling, areas where they're in control, unless of course they miss it. But that's a tough one for up and coming officials to make that transition, is to feel that they need to call everything, right?
So here's an off ball.
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Hi there. Just wanted to ask a quick question on that last play there. I know it wasn't a goal. We're assuming that he was pushed into the crease. The mechanics on there, presuming that both of the officials are confirming what they saw there, and it is a goal. He was pushed in. How are we clarifying that it was a push? Obviously, someone's going to signal a goal, or
so we don't have a goal because we have A in the crease.
Even with him being pushed in.
It doesn't matter how he got there. If he's in the crease, right? He also launches himself. He comes off the ground, so we have a dive. So if he lands in the crease, it's never going to be a goal, right? So we
first
do
get
a
the
good
whistle.
job coming in hard and saying it. It's just the wrong person says it, right? So again, I think we get the call right there. It's not a goal and it's crease violation. Maybe it's a push. Either way, it's the correct call. It's just the wrong people are making it from the wrong position, right? All right, so here's something that's a little off ball. Watch the red attackman right here. So that's me making the call. And I had told that player before, stop with the chicken wing. He comes in, he clamps the defender's stick, and you can see wherever red goes, he's essentially dragging the defender around with him, right? Just because you are the lead or the single doesn't mean you don't have other responsibilities. And the biggest thing that you will see in a three-man game when you're, like Jeremy said, working with partners that you trust, is a lot of shenanigans going on just above the crease. Those crease players, you have missed that your entire life doing two-man games. So watch this again. You can see him yanking him around. Alrighty, so let's talk about some end line coverage. Here's a really good example of nice hustle to the end line. In case you don't know, it is the blue line that is out of bounds. It's not the white line, right? So it's the blue line at Lovett. Oh, God. This is a really close play. Remember, if a player steps out of bounds before the ball goes out of bounds, they're no longer a player. So you've got to be right there to see this play. He's legally allowed to push the opponent away from the ball so that he ends up being the closest kid, right? And he wins the ball because of that. It's a great play by White. But look where the official is standing. He is on the end line, now ready to administer the restart. Here's another example. Again, good hustle on an uncontested play. Everybody knows that White is going to get this ball. Literally everybody on the planet knows that White is going to get this ball, and yet he makes the extra couple of steps. He hustles, and it looks great. It's good mechanics. It's good hustle. You will also notice at the end of this play, all the officials are pointing. I could show you 1,000 pieces of film where on every restart, everybody's hands are down by their side. If a restart is happening and you don't have any reason to stop it and you're in position and ready to go, boom. And then when the whistle gets blown in by the guy managing the restart, you just drop your arm. Just like that. Every single time. If you're working, and Jeremy and Mike and the older guys on this call, we will tell you, if we're working with people we don't know, that's one of the things I'm paying attention to. Are you giving me a good ready point? If you're doing that, I know your head's in the game and you know what your mechanics are. I can trust you. I don't have to be calling in your area. I can focus on what I need to focus on. If you don't give me a ready point and you seem out of it, I have to rethink how I'm going to officiate that game. All right, so let's take a look at this one. Here's another great hustle play to the end line, right? Stewart does a really nice job coming down and kind of into behind the goal to put himself in a great position. He's looking right down the line. The single just works his way out, lets the lead make the call, and when he realizes it's a transition play, now he's heading up towards the cone. Like boom, boom, boom. There's no delay. There's no walking. You get yourself in the right position, and then you keep that game moving. You keep the flow of the game going. Right. Great play by Green. We make the right call here. I'm just going to play this one.
So what's going on the end line? Why is there not an official on the end line earlier in that play?
Yeah, they should be down right by it.
The lead should be even with the ball.
That's the ball right there.
Yeah. The
It's
single
floating up in the air, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bodies on the end line.
Yeah.
And this guy hasn't moved, like, at all.
Right. And the single needs to be coming in.
The single hasn't moved. Right?
He should be in to cover the goal in case there's not a change of possession and the lead is down low, correct?
Correct. So his single's going to.
That's where we should be. Right? Again, if you watch film and you are repeatedly out by the numbers, you are way too far out. That is not where we want you. We want you right in here, and we want you right in here. The lead's positioning at first is not bad. He's in a pretty good spot. That's a perfect spot to be. There's not anybody in front of him, and we've got a lot of bodies on the end line. We've got to get to the end line. You can give up your goal responsibilities as the lead. All right. Clear that. All right. Again, here's another one. We make the call right, and our mechanics look terrible. We just look bored. We look disinterested, right? By moving and hustling and sort of being really focused, you look like you're being professional. Here we look disinterested and bored, right? Again, we make the call right. He awards the ball to the right team, but we don't look like we're in any way invested in this game. And let me tell you, I've been in a lot of games where there was not a lot of investment, right? But you need to make yourself be focused. You need to look and act professionally at all times. It may be a terrible game and you might not want to be there, but you still have to put forth your best effort and do what we need to do. Focus on the single here.
Greg, going back to the boring game, which we've all had, the blowout situation.
Yeah.
That is an opportunity for you to look into yourself, and say, what is the weakest part of my officiating game?
Mm-hmm.
What is the weakest thing what am I bad at? What do I need to improve on? And you spend the rest of that game working on that.
Yep.
That's professionalism.
Yeah, I mean, these are great opportunities. If you're working on something, go to your partner and say, look, I'm really trying to do this. Can you just let me know if I'm doing this or not? Right? I want my signals to be good. I want my counts to be great. I want my restarts to be good. I want to make sure I get to the wide as trail in transition, becoming new trail. So I cover my sideline. I want to be more demonstrative on crease calls, right? This is all stuff that you can do. I want to clean up my face-offs. It's a great opportunity. Don't just be out there, as Jimmy Carbonneau says, like a prostitute with a whistle. If you're just cashing a check, it shows pretty clearly on film. And if you're not hustling, but you're still interested, understand that that's the that, perception is reality. Watch the single here. Single is way, look at that. Look how far out we are. Lead is already being pushed out. There's no way he can cover the goal right now. Right? But we are way out here, way too long. Again, be dynamic. One of the ways to keep yourself interested in a game is to keep moving. If you're just standing there staring at things, it gets pretty boring. So we want to be moving. The lead does kind of a weird shuffle here. He's a little bit out of position because he gets in the way, gets lighthoused a little bit, but recovers nicely at the end to hustle down to the end line and make an end line call. So I'll play this one more time from the beginning. Great point, demonstrative, hustling, right there. But there's a lot of wonky mechanics with the single and the lead here. This is stuff that you can clean up and really kind of hone your craft. Again, watching film of yourself is going to be really, really helpful.
Greg, we're at 8:45. Just a programming note. How far do you want to keep going?
How are guys feeling about stuff? I mean, I can go for 14 minutes more, and then I'm pretty much done for the evening.
We got that director's call. We got to be on at 9.
Yeah.
So
looks good.
Well, college guys can jump off. College guys can jump off.
College guys can jump off. Also, they're going to, just FYI, they're going to send out the recording of the Niloa call, and you can sign up and register for that. So that will count towards your participation if you want to stay on this or you just want to go to sleep.
I mean, I'll hang till the last minute.
Yeah. All right. So watch this play and let's see. So we're talking about restarts in the crease. What do we got here?
Nobody near the crease, that's for sure.
It is a dead ball, right? We got to push, right? We're going the other way. Is that attackman more than 5 yards away? Did he give up 5 yards to the goalie? We have a delay of game here. Watch the signal. He signals push. So this is a dead ball restart.
Greg, it's frozen. The video's frozen.
It's not playing.
I'm not seeing any
Yeah,
movement.
it's frozen.
Yeah, video's not moving.
Hold on. Sharing is paused. Well, I'm going to unshare and reshare. You see it now?
It's still static, Greg.
Yeah, I got to play it. Let me play it.
There you go.
So watch here. He's going to give a push signal against the offense and award the ball. So now we have a restart in the crease. That attackman plays him. This is a flag down slow whistle. If you have an attackman playing a dead ball restart right in the crease, there's no way he's 5 yards away.
When he catches that ball, he's done his job, hasn't he? As soon as that guy catches the ball.
Well,
yeah. Here's the issue though, is that the delay of game rule is now in the high school level, and the riding defender in that place, he's an attackman. He's riding. He's not established 5 yards from the goalie on the restart. He's
Yeah,
actually
this
playing.
is not a play on for interference.
Yeah.
He
So
is
he
not
put a-
allowed to play that player until he has given up a 5-yard buffer zone, just like anybody else. So this is
So
not
this
an
is-
interference with possession. He makes the call. We're good. This is, you're not allowed to play him at all.
The,
Slide
the,
down.
the key is coming off of a dead ball restart. It's
Mhm.
coming off of a loose ball push. If the goalie makes a save, that's a legal play.
Yep.
If the play hasn't been stopped, nothing's wrong there. Unless there's goalie interference because the sticks collide or whatever, then that's just a play on scenario. The key to this is it came off of a dead ball restart.
Yep. So we have a dead ball restart. So there can be no offensive player within 5 yards, and no defensive player can play him until they have given up a 5-yard buffer. All right, let's take a look at this one. We got a moving pick right here. Watch this player come in, and you see the nice lean. He sort of slowly leans into that defender as he's trying to spin out to make himself available, right? Even when you're the lead, even when you're the single, in an open set like this, open up your hips so you can see the rest of the field. We want lots of overlapping coverage for the on and off ball official. And I'm pretty sure it's the lead down here that makes this call. Yep, because he turns right and looks at him. And he had the best angle, right? This is our transition play, right? So we're going to have a shot, we're going to have a save, and we're going the other direction. I really want you to watch this all the way through. Got the long outlet pass. The single does not need to stop at the cone here, right? So you're going to run all the way down the field, and we're going to jog all the way into position as the lead and the single. The lead's already in great position. The single runs all the way in a really great, does a really great job here. Here's an awkward restart. We're going to have the lead a little bit out of position. It's not terrible. It looks weird. So the ball's coming in on the sideline. The lead gives it up to the trail official, but then is backing out into 15 different ways and has to come back in. Again, it's fine, but it looks weird. Understand that when you are the lead official in a 3-man game and you're in settled play, the sideline is not your sideline. It is the trail's sideline. He's going to take that whistle all the time. So you don't need to move out there. This is, I think, 2-man mechanics, kind of the muscle memory is there, and you want to go out there and take care of that sideline because it's your sideline. So just watch it again. Right? He's pointing and he's backing out, but there's no need to back out. He wants to be right here. He gets himself there. We need to do that a little quicker. So here's some transition plays. This is me walking. That's bad mechanics on my part. Right? I ran to here and stopped and I looked. I should have pretty much kind of jogged in here. It's not terrible, but that's something that I'm trying to work on so that I don't get caught walking in a game. So if there's an assigner looking at film saying, is he ready to move to the next level? I don't want to give them ammunition to shoot me down. I need to give them reasons to want me on the better game, not reasons to not put me on the other game. Right? So again, this is me walking. This is my TV jog. I give the signal. So not terrible, but I think I can do better than that. Let's take a look at this. There's a lot of walking here. This is what we do not want to see, right? Right, watch the new lead already in position. We have great counts. We have great gain to the box here. So we're coming in as single and lead to settled play here. Single lets him go by. We begin our counts. We're jogging in. The lead is already in great position for this play, right? This is a perfect example of what we're looking for. And if I kept playing, it limits how long I can make clips, but he does a nice job running all the way in to be in position as single, right? So we have a fast break developing here. Anybody want to tell me what the problem is?
Didn't see anyone in the frame for a while.
Single's not there.
The single may not
Where's
be
the
there,
other
right?
official?
Because this is a pretty quick transition. So the single's coming down, but this is where the ball is, and the lead is almost off the field here. So look on the right side of the screen. That's our lead coming into the picture. We got to be right here.
Is he like on the field next to that field?
Yeah, yeah. We can't be that far out, right? We really can't be that far out. You need to be ahead of the ball and by GLE right by the crease when just in case there's a potential fast break. Don't wait to see what's going to happen. If you're ever wondering where you should be, get to your spot. If you're the lead, it's right here, right? This is why, as the trail, you stick around. So we got an end line restart. Goalie misses the pass. This is why you don't sneak up as the trail. There's nothing ahead that you can help with. We've got a single and a lead. So the best thing you can do is run all the way in and give a signal.
On that clear, the new trail rule of thumb is to stay even with the ball.
Mm-hmm. So here we go.
It's good hustle on that new trail's part.
And he realizes really quickly, like, oh God, that was not what they wanted to do. And he turns and runs. So great job hustling. Great job staying focused on the play. You're in the best position you can be to make that call. We're right there.
Do you like being just inside the crease or just outside the crease when you do the goal?
I like to stand with a foot in the crease. My goal, my idea is to stand with a foot in the crease, standing next to the goalie, so that I can talk to the goalie, see what players are doing, talk about, hey, way to lay off the hit, or, nice hustle there, 32. But I let them know that I'm there. If you're out by the numbers signaling goal, you don't know what players are saying to each other. And that's, again, dead ball stuff is where fight happens. You need to be there so that they know you're there, so that you can manage that situation. We need to be focused on mixed colors. Once everybody kind of goes off to their sides, and, Mike Montgomery and a lot of you guys who've been ours on bigger games, once it gets chippy, I will tell my crew, nobody's leaving until mixed colors are gone on goals, right? Because they're jawing at each other. And you want to avoid that BS. That's fights and ejections and game reports. Nobody wants that. right? That's not what we're all here to watch, right? It's definitely what we don't want to officiate, and nobody likes doing paperwork. So if there's a lot of chippiness, you may have the lead in the single just hang out for a second. Wait until those players go off. All right, guys, here you go. Face off. Let's go. Let's go. And then you sprint up to that midline, get that face off going, right? Any questions? I hope this was helpful for you guys. Again, log into your Huddle account. If you guys don't have a Huddle account, the new guys, I have just not had time to set it up. But you can go in there. I've gone through every piece of video that we have. We have 260 hours of video, and I have tagged it 3-man or 2-man. So you can kind of filter all the 3-man games and take a look. All of these clips are on a playlist. If you want access to it, let me know. But find yourself on a game. Find a game where it's, there's a couple of pretty good games here that you can watch, and you can see what other officials, there's a couple of college games on here. You can see what our officials are doing and what really is expected at the higher levels of play. If you want to make the move up, if you want to be the R on the big game, if you want to be on the big crew, we don't need you as an OK field judge or an OKU. I want 3 referees on that crew. And if we all disagree, the guy that got put in the first position gets to make the decision. But we want 3 equally invested, talented, engaged, knowledgeable officials who are hustling and getting to the right spot. All right. Anybody got anything? All right, gentlemen.
Sounds good.
Thank you for joining us.
Good job,
Enjoy the
Greg.
rest of your
Thank you.
day. I'll post this to
Great
the
job.
Thanks,
website
Greg.
soon. Okay.
Thanks for all the
Thank you.
hard work, Greg.
Hey, thank you guys. My pleasure. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you, Greg. Good night.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you, Mike.
Hey, can I say thanks, Greg?
Good night, John.
Hey, John.
All right, brother. I'll see you later.
Good night, guys. Very good.